In a Coastal Voices interview, Jeff Aiken tells us about his start in seafood wholesaling and development of Jeffrey Seafood in Hatteras Village.
David Price. I commercial fished with David, and David taught me how to twist wire and rig baits, and I got a job on a charter boat with Ivy Batten, and I kind of cut my teeth with that, and I continued commercial fishing and charter fishing. I got a captain's license in 1987. I guess before that, I got a real estate license. I got a real estate license, and I sold real estate for a midget for a number of years. Until I just, they put the water moratorium, and if you could date that, and then the building moratorium simultaneously. That was like the two or 3 months after I got my license. So I went back to fishing.
Charter boat or commercial?
Both. Yeah, we would take the Captain Squid. I've put over 100 boxes of sow trout on the Captain Squid. We had a net reel on the Captain Squid. Then David had another boat, the Big 'Un. We had grown up in Hampton. We had friends in the fish business in Hampton. So we just decided we'd do a joint venture. We bought her with the help of John Coleman, who owned Hatteras Harbor Marina, who created Hatteras Harbor Marina really from nothing. He built the building and did all of that stuff and created Hatteras Harbor. And so since we had the squid belonged to him, he was kind of backing us, and we were friends, and he helped us buy a cold plate Mercedes refrigerated truck, and we hung a scale on the back of it, and when we got home, we packed fish. We'd go fishing all day. We'd come home and pack fish in the parking lot until the wee hours of the morning, and we'd hire a driver to take them to Virginia. And that's how I got started in the fish business. I continued to do that, and John Coleman and I, or John, offered to build me the building that is now where we clean the fish, the other Jeffrey Seafood, the west at Hatteras Harbor. And we built that together.
And what year was that?
That was 88. Yep, that was 88. So we built that, and that's when I really started buying fish from other boats. And that's when it became Jeffrey Seafood, not just Jeff and David selling fish.
You had that facility. When did you expand and start buying at the other?
Quality Seafood is where I worked at Quality Seafood. I worked for $5 an hour, was happy to have it, and all the fish I could eat. So a lot of folks left vegetables on our front porch. And you know, I had my first drumfish stew. It was Miss Alice made it, Miss Alice Gray. Some memorable days back then when I first came to Hatteras. But yeah, I worked there for $5 an hour. So that would have been in the early 80s. And then by 88, I had the fish house at Hatteras Harbor. And then Quality left their lease over there. And Michael Peel approached me about would I be interested in leasing that fish house from him, and I did. And then a couple of years later, I bought the property adjacent, so I still lease.
And you bought that from Michael's uncle?
Uncle Lee Peel. Who was really responsible for putting the fish house there, and Lee was the big time fisherman.
Do you know why Quality moved out of there? They decided to give up that lease?
I never heard anybody really tell me, you know, in their own words why, but I think they gave up the lease because it just wasn't economically viable to them. They were in the crab business in a big way back then.
That's right.
And I don't think crabbing has ever been the same. I don't know why it was better back then, but the high salinity of our crab waters here lead to mortality sooner. And I never made any money buying crabs much, you know, except certain times of year with basket markets. But they had picking houses and that type of thing up in Elizabeth City. They would pick and process crabs too. So they had plenty of other things to do, and they, for whatever reason, decided to move out of Hatteras.